Hello and welcome everyone. Today we're going to explore how Arizona citizens play a direct role in shaping their government through two important tools of direct democracy, the initiative and the referendum. These processes are outlined in the Arizona Constitution and have helped shape state policies for over a century. That brings the first question. What is direct democracy? Direct democracy means citizens vote directly on laws and policies rather than electing representatives to make all the decisions. While the U.S. mostly uses representatives democracy, some states like Arizona allow voters to directly create or reject laws through the initiative and referendums. Those are powerful tools that give the people a direct vote in government. The definition of initiative is that an initiative is a process where citizens propose a new law or constitution amendment. If enough voters sign a petition, the proposed law goes directly to the ballot. Voters can then approve or reject in an election. The process allows everyday citizens, not just lawmakers, to shape state laws. This brings the next definition of referendum. A referendum is a process where voters approve or reject laws already passed by the state's legislature. There are two types. Referendum by legislators, when lawmakers refer to a law to people for a vote, or voter referendum, when citizens collect signatures to force a public vote on law they disagree with. The initiative versus referendum key differences. While both allow public votes on laws, there are key differences. Initiatives start with the people and propose new laws. Referendum are usually about rejecting or confirming laws that have already passed. So initiatives create and referendums challenge. Both are expressions of popular power. This is how the process works in Arizona. A petition must be signed by registered voters equal to a percentage of the voters cast in the last governor election. Signatures are verified by the Secretary of State. If successful, it appears on the ballot in the next general election. Citizens must gather signatures within 90 days after the law is passed. The required number of signatures is also based on voter turnout in the last election, which I thought was very interesting. If enough signatures are gathered, the law is paused and voters decide its fate in the next election. Here's the pros and cons of the initiative process. The pros is that it gives power directly to the people, which I love. It also allows voters to bypass a gridlocked legislature. Another pro is that it can drive important reforms that lawmakers avoid. Some cons of this, though, is that it is expensive and complicated to get onto the ballot. It also can be influenced by wealthy interest groups. And voters may not always have a full understanding of the complex issue, which is why this is such an important thing to talk about today. Some pros and cons of the referendum process, though. Some pros is that it acts as a legislative power. It gives citizens a voice in rejecting unpopular or controversial laws. It also encourages government accountability. Some cons of the referendum is that it's a short 90-day window to gather signatures. Campaigns can be heavily influenced by money. It also can slow down needed legislation. This is how this relates to the Arizona Constitution. The Arizona Constitution was written in 1910. Article 4, Part 1, Section 1 guarantees the initiative and referendum powers to the people. This was a major progressive reform, giving Arizonans more control over their government than citizens in many other states. It reflects the idea that government should be part of the people, by the people, and for the people, not just in elections, but throughout the lawmaking process. Some real-world examples is that in 2000, voters passed Proposition 203, legalizing medical marijuana. In 2006, they passed Proposition 202, raising the minimum wage. Some referendum real-world example is that in 2022, voters rejected a law through a referendum that would have expanded Arizona's school voucher program. These examples show how voters directly shape state policy. In conclusion, initiative and referendums are essential to Arizona's identity as a state that values citizen participation. They give the people real power, to shape laws, hold their government accountable, and express the will of the majority. Whether you're signing a petition or casting a vote, remember that you have a voice, and in Arizona, your voice can directly become a law, and in Arizona, your voice is directly heard. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Have an amazing day.